Hey guys, hello. Everybody, welcome back to your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast. Oh, Ravens all day, every day. With your host, Justin P. And my two MVP billion-dollar co-hosts, the lovely Miss Shannon Finch and Super Dave Icky, the mailman, aka David Woods. This is episode 154, guys. For the YouTube version and for the audio version, season 2, episode 54. Excuse me, I'm so excited. I'm messing up. Right there in the descriptions is myself, Shannon, and Dave's social media platforms. You can give us a follow there. I have everything: Shannon, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. David, Instagram, Facebook. He has to get Twitter soon. I'm pretty sure he will. And right underneath that, below, the links to our audio version for those who can't watch live. If you're driving, if you're working, just listen to us. It's still the same. They would do our preview of today's Sunday's game, Bills versus Ravens, a rematch from week 4 when we beat them 35-10 in Baltimore. You know how we start off every show. We're going to start off with the coaching matchups. So in this particular game, who has the edge, Shannon? Sean McDermott or John Harbaugh, both as disciples of Andy Reid.
I'm going to go John Harbaugh. I feel like Sean McDermott, he's a good coach. The Bills have did a lot of winning with him being there. Similar like the Ravens, they need to get over the hump. But I also feel like they're in a pretty easy division. You know what I mean? Like the Patriots ran it for years and now they're running it. And, okay. I feel like John Harbaugh's team has dealt with more adversity this season and more things that he had to bring his guys together from and more things they had to overcome. And we had to bench guys and put this guy and do this. I just feel like John Harbaugh has showed if anybody doubts what type of coach he is, I think this season helps make his case of why he is one of the better coaches in the league. I don't care he doesn't call plays for offense or defense. That's not what a head coach has to be. And he does a good job with managing his roster as far as who's on it, as far as temperament. We talked about that with him and Mike Tomlin. But in this matchup, I'm definitely going to give it to John Harbaugh. He knows how to have his team ready to go on the road and play a game.
Oh, Shannon spitting that fire. Good job,
Yeah.
Shannon. Go ahead,
Don't
David.
get on my neck. Stupid.
I'm gonna call this one even, man. I gotta call this one even. Both coaches are at the top of the coaching ranks. Harbaugh's the Ravens playing the best football on his 5-game winning streak, but you gotta acknowledge the job that Sean McDermott has done. McDermott has an impressive 86-45 record in his 8-year coaching career, and the Bills have won at least 10 games in the last 6 seasons. They've also reached the playoffs in the last 6 seasons straight. So these are 2 great coaches. This is as good as it gets. So I'm gonna call this one even.
Wow, good answer, David. I'm going to go with John Harbaugh, even though he makes me sick sometimes, but his accolades speak for itself. And then the Ravens did kick the Bills' tail 35-10. So that counts for a lot. The Bills definitely going to come with it, but heading into this particular game, it has to be John Harbaugh. All respect from Bills Mafia. Thank you, GTL, whoever that is. Now to the offensive coordinators, Todd Drunken Monken and Joe Brady. Who has the edge, Shannon?
This one wasn't easy for me to say because Joe Brady, I mean, think about because he came on like halfway through last year, right, as the offensive coordinator.
He replaced
And we've had Monken, and we've had Monken for 2 full seasons now. Number 1 offense this year, right? I don't think that changed when the season ended. I don't think that changed when the season ended. Oh, this one is a little tough. I'm gonna give Monken a slight edge.
Well said, Shannon.
It's hard to release because it's like I don't have anything negative to say about their offensive coordinator. Not that he's bad or anything like that, but just thinking about Lamar is not your prototypical quarterback, and a lot of offensive coordinators probably wouldn't know what to do with a guy like him. That they should keep their system or do what suits him. But Monken came in and basically that like changed the trajectory of Lamar's career. I mean, he won MVP last year. He could win MVP this year. It's hard to really pick against him in that sense. And again, we've seen this offense win a lot of different ways. Coming back to win, having shootouts, blowing people out. Monken can do a lot of different things offensively, and it's not to say the Bills can't. But again, I'm going to give this slight edge to Monken with this one.
Oh, well said, Shannon. Good detailed answer. I like that. Go ahead, David.
I'm gonna give it to Todd Monken. Todd Monken is one of the best in the game. His offense has been a fireworks show. Number one in the league, number one in rushing. They made mincemeat out of a good Pittsburgh defense last week. They set the tone early. Ravens took the first drive 95 yards down the field. That's the second longest drive in postseason history. Three of the four TD drives were at least 85 yards. 308 total yards in the first half is the most since Tom Brady's 2018 Patriots did it. But Joe Brady's done a great job with Buffalo's offense as well. They're 10th overall in the league, ninth in rushing, ninth in passing. And he's put Josh Allen, this Bills attack, in a good position to score a lot of points. He's also on a short list of coaching candidates for the upcoming season. So I'm gonna give this one to Todd Monken.
Oh, good. Well said, David. This is two pretty good offensive coordinators. Joe Brady, since he's taken over the Bills offense has been nothing but tremendous. They added my Mari Cooper to hold that passing game. But, Josh Allen is an MVP candidate for a reason, guys. But it has to be Todd Drunken Monken because Lamar numbers speak for itself. Over 4,000 yards passing, only 4 interceptions, 41 touchdowns, 900 rushing yards. Derrick Henry with 1,921 yards, 16 touchdowns. Zay Flowers 1,000 yards. Mark Andrews double-digit touchdowns. And the Ravens are number 2 in points, number 2 in rushing offense, and I think top 10 in passing. So it has to go to Todd Drunken Monken, guys. Let's go. Now,
You going to do that? You doing that the whole time?
let's
Come
talk.
on, man. Yeah, let me get that regular.
Now, let's switch over to the defensive coordinators. We have Bobby Babbage for the Bills, and for the Ravens, the red hot Zach Orr. So Shannon, who has the edge?
Um, I'm going to go Zach Orr. I feel like, again, like I talked about, all the adversity that we had this season, a lot of that stemmed from the defense. And when people were ready to run him out of town and making it like we made the wrong pick, he figured out the way to gather the troops and do what he had to do to get that defense playing well. Since week 11, I think is the number they say, number one defense in the league. Number one defense in the league after the way things started out. This defense has been battle tested with the quarterbacks and the different teams that we've had to play all throughout the season. And again, it's not to say that the Bills offensively won't be able to do things against our defense. I just feel like our defense has a different mindset on the back end of the season, and it's going to carry over, going into Buffalo. And a lot of that starts with Zach Orr. So I'm going to go Zach Orr.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
We'll go Zach Orr. This defense has really stepped it up down the stretch. Zach Orr's, faces in the dictionary of look, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Week 1 through 10, the secondary was getting spanked. But since week 11, his defense is first place in total yards per game, only giving up 270 yards per game. Also, they're first in pass per yards attempt with 5.7, and their first and third down percentage with 28%. So Zach, this kid's going places. Bobby Babbage, as far as the defense, they're doing good, but they've been a little bit up and down. You never know what you're going to get. And on top of that, we talked about Buffalo's schedule. So I mean, they do really good against the not good teams, but sometimes they struggle against tough offenses. So gotta go with Zach. This kid's going places.
Well said, David. I'm gonna have to go with Zach Orr as well because since the bye week, guys, he hasn't allowed no team to score 20 points. That says a lot. Played Pittsburgh twice. They had 17 and 14. Texas team with a quarterback that's a true sensation is CJ Stroud. Only 2 points, and only came off Derrick Henry running into the end zone. The Giants only had 14 points. The Browns only had 10 points. So, with that being said, the edge has to go to Zach or Bobby Babbage. That defense has been a little shaky lately. They played Bo Nix and the Broncos, a rookie quarterback. So, they kind of got let off the hook. But I'm going with Zach on this particular matchup, guys. All right. Now we're done with that. I'm sorry. We're going to do our position matchups. I am so sorry. The quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks are MVP candidates. You have Lamar Jackson, two-time MVP, and Josh Allen, who could possibly be an MVP winner this year. Where's that, Shannon?
I'm gonna call it a tie, and that's because I think Lamar. Well, I know Lamar just had his best game in the playoffs last week, so that's going to be a confidence booster for him. With being in the playoffs, not having to worry about people saying he's not playing like Lamar in the playoffs. Ready to go into Buffalo with what wins in the playoffs, a run game and a defense. Um, and with Josh Allen, he's home. He's comfortable. He's done. He's been here before. So I don't think that he's too concerned about having to play this game Sunday night either. Both guys are MVP candidates. I do think Josh Allen will probably win it, but an argument can be made for Lamar as well. I can even say it being co-MVPs if you want to be frank. If you want to be fair about it, it could be more of that than picking one over the other. But both of these guys are great, great quarterbacks. Definitely in the 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to rank them, they're in that conversation. Um, I'm gonna call it a tie. Like the whoever wins, whichever team wins this game is going to be because of how their quarterback played. I believe that. So I'm gonna call it a tie.
Oh, Shannon, well said. Well said, Shannon. I like that answer. Go ahead, David.
I'll say this is a matchup of the two best in the game right now. Lamar Jackson, first team All Pro. Josh Allen, second team All Pro. Two superstars. It don't get no better than this. It's like Lamar's a 10 and Josh Allen's a 9.99. So, but it's lights, camera, action, Jackson, the MVP. These days, almost every time he takes the field, he breaks another record. He makes history. He now holds the record for the most rush yards in the postseason by a quarterback with 602 yards. And I like the way that he made the adjustment last week without Zay Flowers. He ran more. He's now, instead of trying to prove that he can throw the ball, he's taking what the defense gives him. So, God, give me Lamar by just by this much over Josh Allen.
Oh, well said, David. It's very, very close, guys. Like I said, the MVP can go to either one of these guys. But in this particular matchup, I'm going to go with Lamar because, like I said, we dismantled the Bills week 4. That has to count for something. I get it. It's a whole new Bills team. But Josh Allen didn't look that great in that game. And Lamar did, so. And then Lamar, like I said, just played a tough Steelers team and picked them apart. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to Lamar. Now the running backs. Who has the edge, Shannon? Bills or Ravens?
Um, I think both teams have a really good run game. I heard them discussing it on the radio earlier about the Bills running backs and how diverse, all of them are and the guys that they use and how effective they are. Then I know what the Ravens have and what our guys can do. I'm giving a slight edge to the Ravens because of Derrick Henry. I feel like both teams have more than one running back that can be effective in a game. But Derrick Henry is just a different type of animal. And there's no disrespect to Cook at all. But Derrick Henry is just different. And I think the league has known that now for 9 years that he's been in the league. So it's going to be time to show that on Sunday. So I'm going to give the slight edge to the Ravens.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David. The floor is yours, buddy.
I go with the Ravens. We just talked about Lamar. Let's talk about King Derrick Henry. Continuous Pro Bowl season, shining like new money. 186 yards last week against the Steelers. That's his fourth career postseason game with at least 150 yards. That ties Terrell Davis with the most all time. He's the first player to have 100 rushing yards and a half since Raheem Mostert did it in 2019 with the 49ers. But on the other side, James Cook, he is legit, man. He broke 1,000 yards, had 1,009 yards. He's the first Bills player to get 1,000 yards since LaShawn McCoy did it in 2017. He so I mean, and they also they got some. They're pretty deep at running back too. The backups are good. Ray Davis, Todd Johnson. They make plays when their numbers are called, and they're both good receivers out the backfield. So, but the Bills are good, but the Ravens rushing attacks number one. Let's go.
Oh, well said, David. Me personally, I'm gonna give a slight edge to the Ravens. Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, Rasheen Ali, Justice Hill, Mr. Do It, all those guys, man, they feed off each other so well. Like I said, Derrick Henry alone has more rushing yards than the Bills as a team. James Cook is a beast, 18 touchdowns, over 1,600 yards total yards from scrimmage. Ray Davis is good, Todd Johnson. But you got to go with the Ravens, man, because you got the king leading the way, man. Now, this one might be a little bit tighter since Zay Flowers may be out. Receivers and tight ends. Who has that? Shannon, Bills, Ravens.
Well, everybody who wants to make the argument for Josh Allen being MVP, they ran it in the hole that he don't have no help, right? He don't got no wide receivers, all of that, blah, blah, blah. So like he's doing everything on his own. He doesn't have anybody. So in that case, I'm going to listen to what they say, right? Even without Zay, I feel like the Ravens have a better wide receiver tight end core. Um, Last week watching that game, this is why I said credit to John Harbaugh because one thing a head coach has to do is build your roster. So you got to build your roster to be able to have guys that can come in when you need them, backups, practice squad, like whatever. Like everybody that you put on your team matters. I didn't even know who the hell Anthony Miller was last week, and he was in the game making plays.
What?
So I didn't. I'm
What?
serious. I did not. I was
What?
watching the game like, who the hell is Anthony Miller? And he got in and he was doing it. He did what he needed to do. Was my point. So I
I'm
feel like we have depth, even without Zay. Guys stepped up. And again, what the Bills fans say, what the people that like Josh Allen say, he don't got no help, right? So that means that the Ravens got out of the core, right? Okay.
I can't believe you didn't know who Anthony Miller is, Shannon. I'm shocked.
No, I
Wait,
didn't. I mean, did you? What did he do? He been on.
of course.
What
He
he
played
did
for
before? I played for
Chicago
who?
Bears, played for Memphis. He been, yeah, kids are stud. He
Memphis?
just got
No, I didn't
What's up,
know who he
Memphis? Who
was.
that?
college,
I
Memphis
was, that's,
College.
oh, I
College.
definitely
Oh, you
didn't know
know
who he
that.
was.
Yeah. Go ahead, David.
Hey man, before I get into that, man, I'm mad that I burned up my Deontay Johnson jersey. He came back. Now I gotta go get another one, man. So but listen, I'm gonna call this one even. The Ravens are still missing big play Zay to a knee injury. I'll be highly surprised if he plays. But everybody stepped up, got into the action last week. Isaiah Likely, he led the charge with 3 catches of 53 yards. Andrews and Bateman, they only had 2 catches, but nice job by Bateman to catch that touchdown last week. Tyler Wallace and Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller, he was playing good in the preseason, so I'm glad that we kept him on the practice squad. But he stepped up and made plays with them 3 catches. But the Bills, their receiving core is very good and they're very deep. 8 guys caught a pass last week from Josh Allen, and all these guys are dangerous. They are good route runners and have good speed. Khalil Shakir is a very underrated receiver, in my opinion. He stepped up. He's the number one. He's taking over for Stephon Diggs. He pretty much runs the same kind of routes that Stephon Diggs runs. Dalton Kincaid, when it comes to third down, that's who Josh Allen, he's one of his favorite targets most of the time. And Amari Cooper, even though he hasn't really done much, he got there mid-season. So I still think he's still trying to learn the playbook. Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, all these guys can hurt you. So both these teams are loaded with weapons. So I'm gonna call this one even.
Well said, David. I'm going to give a slight edge to the Bills, especially from those Zay Flowers fan. Amari Cooper is a beast, man. He's gonna figure out sooner or later. Like you said, he's learning the offense. Keon Coleman, he's starting to get his confidence going. He had some drops early in the season, but he's figured it out. And like you said, Khalil Shakir is now Josh Allen's most trusted target. Then you got Curtis Samuel, Mr. Mac No Shoes Hollins. You have Dalton Kincaid. You have Dawson Knox. Us, Mark Andrews is likely. You have, of course, Bateman's doing his thing. Devontae Walker, Tyler Wallace. Well, if I was Zay Flowers, I'm going to give a slight edge to the Bills, guys. This is a slight edge. Now, the last one on offense, the offensive line, the big uglies. Who has that shatter? Bills, Ravens.
Um, I'm gonna go Ravens. Um, the way that the offense has performed since the bye week, you can't do that without your offensive line. They played great. They kept Lamar clean. They're blocking their butts off. Like it's been amazing. And I was reading something earlier about the offensive lines, and I don't want to misquote what I read, but it was something in particular about their protection with Josh Allen if he holds the ball for like more than 3 seconds, 3 point something something seconds. Like it was something negative. And so for that reason, on Ravens, like I said, the Ravens have been playing really well. They've been protecting Lamar against. Talk about the Steelers. I saw somebody say, of course, a person like the Bills, but they had said that we didn't play anybody, and I'm saying, well, how did you played the Broncos with a rookie quarterback, and we played the Steelers. Y'all could talk about Russell Wilson all you want, but he's still experienced. Their defense not no slouches, so they could have easily turned it on and been a different type of party. We had a rookie left tackle hold T.J. Watt to nothing. He didn't get any sort of Tyler Linderbaum going against Cam Hayward, probably a Hall of Famer, played a hell of a game. Like these guys have been playing really well. And again, it was a makeshift line that was made throughout the year. First game they played together was against the Bills. So we're going to see this again in the playoffs. I'm going to give the slight edge to the Ravens.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
I'm gonna give Buffalo O line this much of an edge over our O line. I mean, because without them, Josh Allen wouldn't be what he is today. They are a big reason why Josh Allen's having such a great season. But both lines are top 10, and they're both a big reason why both offenses are top 10. They both keep their quarterbacks clean. They open up holes for the running backs. I think I looked on the list. Buffalo is ranked fifth, and Baltimore is ranked seventh. So I'm gonna give it to Buffalo by this much. But the Ravens, they've improved throughout the season.
Well said, David. I'm going to give the slight edge to the Ravens, like Shannon said. Mark Andrews and Derek Henry and Lamar doesn't do what they do about those guys. Daniel Fine Leahy has improved a lot, tremendously, and like Shannon said, Roger Rosengarten kept T.J. Watt statless. And Ronnie Stanley's getting, he's doing his thing, but we got to cut back on those penalties. But with that being said, slight edge to the Ravens. Now it's time to go to the defense. One team's a 4-3, one team's a 3-4, but we'll keep it an interior defensive line. Who has that, Shannon? Bills, Ravens.
Defensive line, I'm going Ravens. I mean, they've been holding teams to like damn near. I mean, no, I know it's not been zero rush yards, but like rushing yards that you don't even want to see if you're a running back. You don't want that to be your stat line. Like, and it starts with your defensive line. The Bills, I don't have anything negative to say about them. But if we want to talk about who has the edge, I'm just going to go Ravens. Like they've been really, really dominant. Particularly, I mean, all season we've been great stopping the run, but like since the bye week, it's been like crazy. So I'm going Ravens.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
This one is the Ravens. Ravens has been number one against the run all season by a mile. The Ravens defensive line is full of game records, second in the league in sacks. His name is Namdi. He is just every week. He's the one that starts it up for the Ravens. He's so disruptive in getting in that backfield. Michael Pierce, he's done a great job. He's really the unsung hero. Travis Jones has done a good job in the middle as well. But the Bills run defense, the 12th in the league. But when we played them last time, they gave up 199 rushing yards to King Henry in week 4. So give me the Ravens on this one. Even though the Bills, they got some guys that can get after the quarterback up front. Ed Oliver in the middle, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa on the ends. But give me Namdi and them boys, Ravens. Adafe always done a great job too.
Well said, David. I'm going to go to Ravens as well. Namdi Menabike has been playing well. Finished the season with 7.5 sacks. Michael Pierce, you see, he's been playing well. Had 2 sacks last week. Broderick Washington has been playing well. Travis Jones has been playing well. Brent Urban has been playing well. For the Buffalo Bills, Gregory Rousseau from the U, he's been pretty good. Von Miller, Father Time's creeping up on him. He's still making plays, and Ed Oliver's a beast as well. But I'm gonna give this late edge to the Ravens and interior defensive line.
Yeah,
Well,
Von Miller had a good game last week. I forgot to say about Vaughn. Yeah, you're right.
David, he got at the Bo Nix's ass. You damn sure right he
Yeah,
did.
he did. And
Um,
look like you know, yeah, elite
Usage.
villain.
yeah. So
Hmm.
now the linebackers. Since the Ravens play on 3-4, so you include the rush guys along with the off ball guys. So who has the edge in the linebacker? Shannon, Ravens or Bills?
Still going Ravens. Like I said, our linebackers, that was part of the issue defensively. We had to, get Trenton Simpson out there. We brought guys in. They got a good rotation going. Owe and Calvin Noy both finished the season with double-digit sacks. They're getting after it still themselves. Um, yeah, I mean, I know that the Bills. What's the linebacker name that didn't play week 4
Matt
Matt
Milano.
for the
Milano.
Bills?
Matt Milano.
Yeah, I know a lot of them. Powering him and happy he's back and think that that's going to be a game changer. But I'm going to still go Ravens. Like Roquan is one of the best middle linebackers in the league, inside linebackers. Like I said, no matter who you have in that rotation, the guys are making plays there. I like the depth. I like the intensity. I like everything they got going on. And again, you got to credit them with the run game too with the Ravens. So I'm going Ravens with the linebackers.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
This the Ravens also. Roquan Smith, he's the all pro. He's the captain. He's the leader of the defense. And Kyle Van Noy, the Pro Bowl snub, he's actually taking it up another level since, he found out he didn't make the Pro Bowl. He's had a huge season, big game against Pittsburgh. And Malik Harrison, he's just done a nice job. He makes plays that we don't talk about much, but he makes plays next to Roquan. The Bills, they've been better at linebacker since they got Matt Milano back. Since he's been back, they've been eighth against stopping the run. So he's a key player. He's been a Pro Bowler before, and he's their best linebacker. Terrell Bernard and Williams, they got exposed last time we played Buffalo. So give me Ravens. The Ravens got the edge.
Well said, David. What are we talking about here? It's the Baltimore Ravens. You have two guys with double digit sacks, like Shannon said. Roquan Smith is now another All Pro Bowler. You got guys like Malik Harrison, Chris Boyd, yeah, Trenton Simpson hasn't lived up to the billing, so he got sat down, but he's still a part of that. You got guys like Tavius Roberts who's coming in, giving us some good ball. The Bills, Matt Milano, yes, he's a good linebacker, but remember, Lamar shook him out of his cleats last time, shake and bake in 2019. So, and
Oh yeah. Oh
he
yeah.
so,
I remember that.
so yeah, so Terrell Bernard's a good linebacker. Dwayne Williams is okay, but it has to go to the Ravens. It just has to, guys. Now, the secondary altogether, corners and safeties. Shannon, who has the edge, Ravens or Bills?
I'm gonna say the Ravens. We got two All Pros back there.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
weakest link is Brandon Stevens. Like
Well said.
everybody knows that. We've known that all season, and the world got to see that when everybody was watching last week. Like he's the weakest link back there. Um, we'll probably see him get picked on a lot Sunday, and rightfully so. When you play like he's played, I can't blame a opposing quarterback for feeling the need to try to expose him and get a play either way. There might be a play made or a penalty call, and it benefits them either way. So I'm gonna go Ravens. I mean, I don't know. Them guys, the group has been good. Like I said, once they started making the changes back then, move guys around, they've been elite. Haven't had a lot of touchdowns scored on them. During this time frame. I'm gonna go Ravens.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David. The floor is yours, buddy.
As far as the corners, I'm going to give the edge to Buffalo. These corners are the best part of their defense. The top three of Christian Benford, Teron Johnson, and Rasul Douglas, they are all good in coverage and they all can tackle. They like to play a lot of nickel most of the time as their base defense. The Ravens secondary, you already know, led by Marlon Humphrey, Pro Bowler, had one of his best seasons. Marlon Humphrey, we're about to get rid. We're talking about is it over for him, and he proved everybody wrong. And Nate Wiggins, our first round pick, he's played well. He just gets better and better. I really actually would hope. I want them to really start him over Brandon Stevens. Now, Brandon Stevens, like you just said, he needs to pick it up. He got burnt bad last week, and we cannot afford mistakes against Josh Allen. Allen has one of the best arms in the league. So our corners, we got our hands full this week. Like I just said, we got a lot of receivers. But as far as safeties, Kyle Hamilton, best safety in the game, single-handedly turned around the Ravens' pass defense. And our Darius Watson next to him, big play last week to make that tackle to stop Frymu from getting that first down. That was a big play because that made the Steelers punt. And we got the ball back, went down and scored. So as far as safeties for them, Taylor Rapp and DeMar Hamlin, they're about average at best. Taylor Rapp used to be really good. Look like he's starting to slow down. He's getting a little bit older. So as far as corners, I'm gonna give it to Buffalo. But as far as safeties, give me the Ravens.
Okay, David, that's pretty bold to give the Bills corners. The Ravens had after me. Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins are balling out of control. Tre'Davious White's balling, gave it one play. Cal Hamilton and Darius Washington. And there's one other guy I think that plays in our secondary. It's number 21, but he's been getting picked on more than the fat kid. And he's out there, so hopefully he can contribute. Christian Benford, and Teron Johnson's pretty good. Rasul Douglas pretty good, but Damar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp were ass cheeks. They're only starting because the Bills had salary cap issues, and they had to move on from Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. But them guys stink. So I'm giving the edge to the Ravens. Last one, special team. Shannon, who has the edge, Bills or Ravens?
I'm gonna give it to the Bills because even though I trust Justin Tucker, and I feel like I'm not worried about if he has to, if he's gonna miss a kick. Like he's not my concern at this point. Is why I'm saying that. What really concerns me with our special teams is the return game. I just feel like we can't get it together. Sometimes it's just too many mistakes, and this is the playoffs, and those types of mistakes against different type of teams they can be costly. We had one last week against the Steelers, and luckily, if I'm not mistaken, Lamar ended up scoring on that drive, but we started damn near at the 1 yard line or something like that, and that was kind of a muff situation. We've been saying that throughout the weeks, really throughout the season. Like I remember having a show we talked about what they need to do at that point, like fix it, like figure out who works back there. But for that reason, nothing against the kickers. I'm not talking about Justin Tuck at all. Nothing against Stout or anything like that. Because Stout's been okay. But I do think that we can be better in a return game. I think they're the weakest link on special teams right now. So that's why I'm going to give the edge to the Bills.
Oh, well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David. Floor's yours, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this one even. Since Justin Tucker, since the bye week, he's starting to show why he's the GOAT. He's been doing a good job making his kicks. Buffalo is a good kicker. Tyler Bass, he's a good kicker, real solid. So but like I said, kicks are gonna be important. It's gonna be cold out there, so we're gonna see what happens. And as far as the return game, Stevenson, he's done pretty good so far. A little shaky. I agree with you last week. And Khalil Shakir for the Bills. He's been pretty good, getting good field position. So I'm gonna call this one even.
Oh, well said, David. I'm going to go with the Ravens because Justin Tucker, I've been on him all year. When it all comes down to it, he's the most experienced kicker. He's kicking in his game. Jordan Stout, punts have been getting better. Steven Sims have given us a little something in return game, and you should have Tyler Wallace, those guys. And our long snapper Nick Morris doing his job. So, I'm gonna give a slight edge to the Ravens. A slight edge. Now, to our first topic of the night, and it's always the same one. How will Todd Monken attack this Bills defense? Floor is yours, Shannon.
Um, Respectfully, y'all said that the Bills linebacker, since he's been back at number 7 in rush defense, congratulations to them for that. But I feel like the Ravens need to run the ball. Take whatever you can get in a passing game, but don't get cute. If it has to be a shootout, like how we had to have against the Bengals 2 different times, we know we're capable of doing that. You do that if you have to. But stick to your identity. Run the ball. Like, there's no need to go in trying to prove that you can outpass Josh Allen or anything of the sort. We know Lamar can pass. We know we can do in a passing game. We've seen it all year. Best season yet for him. Even if he doesn't win MVP, better than his MVP seasons. But still stick to your identity. Like, we saw them do that against the Steelers. And when the Ravens play their game, they're hard to beat offensively, like hard to stop. So just run the ball and take what you can get in the passing game. And I'm not saying I don't want anybody to think I'm saying that to say I'm scared to pass the ball, because I'm not saying that. But don't get out there trying to be cute and thinking that's the way to go about it because of who's across the field playing against you. Play your game. Run the ball, keep them off the field.
Boy, I love that answer. Good job, Shannon. Go ahead, Dave. Your turn.
Start fast, run the ball early, let Derrick Henry set the tone, let the number one rushing attack lead us to victory, and Lamar use your play action off the run. Got to control the time possession. The more we have the ball, the less that Josh Allen has the ball. Got to wear the Bills defense down. That's just keep doing what we've been doing, just like last week. We wear on them, we'll win the game.
Oh, well said, David. To echo you two guys, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, play action pass, get the tight ends involved. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, even trying to call off. Since Zay Flowers most likely won't be available, get Rashad Bateman involved early and get his confidence going. Get Devontae Walker going so he can have his confidence going later in the game. Same with Tyler Wallace, Nelson Aguilar, Anthony Miller, et cetera, et cetera. In third and short, put Pat Ricard in the game. High formation, pistol and shotgun should be very limited in this game because of the weather. So go straight at them guys with smash run game and then play action pass, like Hannah said. So that's simple.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, now on the flip side, it's just a two-part to this question. Me and Dave combined to tap into this one. All right, the first one is how will Zach Orr defend the Bills' high-power offense led by Josh Allen and James Cook? And can the Ravens defense once again keep Josh Allen and company in check like they did in week 4? Go ahead, Shannon.
First part of the question, contain the run, running backs and Josh Allen. He definitely can and will take off, but if we can contain him, he might not break off any big plays or big runs. I feel, and when I said what I said about the matchup between the wide receivers, that's more or less because of the narrative that other people were trying to paint. That's not me being dismissive of the Bills wide receivers, because I know and I feel like Josh Allen doesn't do what he's done this year without the guys catching the ball. So it's crazy to me to try to downplay who he has on his team. That's why I was kind of being facetious saying that, but I don't get why people are doing that to them. But I feel like our DBs need to keep everything in front of them. If you don't, let them get behind you, you can kind of contain what they can do as well. Even with Amari Cooper, I mean, he is who he is, but like you guys have said, he has got to really make an impact. Don't let this be the game that he makes an impact. So stick to the guys, keep them in front of you, things like that. I feel like the pass rush is going to be very important. We can contain a lot of stuff up front. The guys in the back can be less exposed and less chance for big plays to be given up at any level on the football field. And it's kind of like, take advantage of the opportunities that you have. So like if you can get an interception, get it. We've had a lot of dropped interceptions this season, but we've seen in recent weeks that the guy is kind of turning around in that way. So we can be, have your hands up, catch some balls. Let's do that. That changes things as well. But I just kind of think they're going to be aggressive, like, the way they've been the past couple of weeks. Like they've been really, really aggressive. But I will say this. This is the first test that I feel like the Ravens have really had defensively since the bye week, because you ain't taking the Giants seriously. They did what they were supposed to do against the Giants. Who do we play next? The Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still surprised that didn't happen. I mean, it happened how it did that day, but they also didn't have Pickens, which we saw last week that he could still be a game changer. You play the Texans. They were kind of railing at the end of the season anyway. Like that was nothing. And then you play the Browns, who had nothing to play for at that point. So I think we haven't played an offense this good since the Eagles. And I don't feel like they played bad against the Eagles. I really feel like if we would have done more offensively, I think that could have been a different game. But this would definitely be the first test for the defense since the bye week. And they'll have their hands full. You know, the Bills' offense have been doing a damn thing all season. But if they stick to what they've been doing, I don't see why it won't be a good result for them.
Oh, well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David. Floor's yours, buddy.
I'm gonna say make Josh Allen one dimensional. The front seven, they just gotta keep dominating. They've been a brick wall against the run all season. Stop James Cook. Do not let him get started. To me, he's the key to their offense. Make him one dimensional. Don't let him run. You cannot let Josh Allen run and make them off schedule plays. When he starts running, if you get he's hard to tackle. I know he's 6'5", 250 with some good speed. So when you if you grab him up, you gotta get him on the ground and keep the Bills Mafia out of the game. Because when they start chanting to get the momentum, they're tough to beat. They're undefeated at home. So Roquan Smith, he's got to hit everything. This has got to be a Roquan game right here. The corners, they got to be on their assignments with all these receivers because they don't have a guy in they're targeting. They throw it at the first guy that's open. That's who Josh Allen's going to hit. That's what makes him great. The defensive line has got to bring big heat on third down. Third down, we've been first since week 11. So they got to keep doing. Third down is key. The Bills are great on third down. So third down is the key right there. But make them one dimensional. That's how we're going to beat them.
Well said, David. You too, Shannon.
You forgot to say the second part of the question. I
Oh,
forgot to answer that
no,
too.
we can go back around to that. It don't matter.
Okay, I just want go ahead. Go ahead.
We can do that. That's no biggie. Get pressure on Josh Allen. Get pressure on Josh Allen, and get pressure on Josh Allen. Everything else will take care of itself. Now, Shannon, to the second part of the question. How do you think the Ravens defense can keep the Bills offense in check like they did week 4?
Um, I would be surprised if it was anything like week 4. I do feel like even with the Bills, um, they were in the shootout with the Rams and the Lions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then they played well. I don't remember I don't know what the score was against the Chiefs, but I feel like they won. I
31,
know
21.
it was what?
31, 21.
Okay. So yeah, like they're capable of putting up points, and I don't feel like the Ravens are gonna completely shut them out. I mean, I would be surprised if our defense was able to keep them to 10 points. If they don't score more than 20, that would be surprising, but that would be a great day for our defense. You know what I mean? Like I have a little bit more respect for the Bills offense than some of their own fans might, because I do feel like they're capable of doing way better than they did week 4. Like I was surprised that was even an outcome, honestly. And he ended up getting benched in like the fourth quarter, right? Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it being anything like that at all.
Go ahead, David.
Just keep doing what we're doing. Just keep it simple. Like I said, stay on your assignments. Just don't let Josh Allen go crazy because Josh Allen. No telling what he's going to do when he makes them plays, and just keep Bills Mafia out the game. So, that's what I think.
I seriously doubt they hold him to 10 points, but but they can at least stop them from running all over him like how they did the Broncos and Chiefs. So yeah, I don't think they're holding to 10 points. They'll score a little bit more points than that. All right, the next topic. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Who do you think will be the X factor on offense and in defense for the Ravens this game? Go ahead, Shannon.
Um, the X factor on offense, I'm going Lamar again this week. People seemed bothered during the season when I said that Lamar was playing timid until his mother cussed him out. And then everybody's saying, "Thank you, Mama." But Shannon had been said that, and that was an issue. Lamar even said it himself that he gets antsy in the playoffs. Shannon was saying that before. Get the jitterbugs off your stomach. So I'm just going to say it again. When Lamar plays his game, the Ravens are hard to beat.
Ooh.
So, and like I said, this was said a lot during Joe Flacco's era. The Ravens are only going to go as far as Joe Flacco take them. I feel the
Mm.
same way about Lamar Jackson. In order for us to get over the next step, get over the hump, like how he played last week, that was a game he's never had in the playoffs. It's time to do that again against a team like the Bills. So I'm going Lamar offensively for X Factor, and defensively, I'm going to front seven. I feel like if they wreak havoc up front and they do their job, and one of you just said that just a couple minutes ago when we were talking about what the defense could do. But if they wreak havoc up front, it's not it doesn't expose the back end, which we don't think they're bad, but we know we have a weak link back there. So if the front seven does their job, to me, they'll be the X factor in the game.
Well said, Shannon. Like Loretta said, let her cook. Go ahead, Dave.
Mm-mm-mm.
No doubt. I'm gonna say Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is here for January football. Give him the ball 25 times, we will win. And it's not even just the talent; it's just his presence alone. I mean, because he's had success throughout his career when he's with the Titans. They've gotten to the playoffs, they've gotten close. Him and Lamar, they have the same goal, same mind frame. Like, hey, we already won all the we won MVPs. We've been all pro. We've been to Pro Bowls. We want to go all the way. So the fact that he's there, and another thing, we can always say woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I think this would have kind of been last year if the trade would have went through when we tried to get him at the trade deadline. So just the fact that his presence is there and that drive, that determination, that's helped take him to another level. So it's Derrick Henry, man. Defensively, Namdi, Matabike, I need an all pro effort. Josh Allen, he's gonna run. He has got to be disruptive and get in that backfield. Because once again, he's the main guy up front. When he gets the middle, when he gets him moving around. So I'm looking at Matabike and Roquan, but I'm gonna go Matabike first because in Roquan, I gotta tackle everything. Because like I said, the Bills, what make them good is they're unorthodox and unpredictable. So I'm gonna go with Namdi and Roquan on defense.
Oh, well said, David. For me, offense, it's Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews. Last week didn't he only had 2 catches, 27 yards. But we know we're gonna get out of Derrick Henry. We're gonna get out of Mark Andrews. He show up and have an amazing game. We're gonna probably win in a nice amount of fashion. But Mark Andrews offensively, defensively, I die for your way. If we can get Josh Allen on the ground and not, miss sacks or almost have him and he slip away, if he can consistently get him on the ground and set the edge in the run game, we'll be a-okay. So Mark Andrews and a die for your way are my expect.
I like
Then
that.
for the next topic, do you think Zay Flowers will play? And if so, how will he be utilized? Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing. Um, I saw a post earlier this week that said they're probably not expecting him back until the Super Bowl if we make it that far. So when I saw that, I was like, well, he definitely not playing this weekend. So hopefully, if we can win this game, he can play next week. But I don't think he's going to play against the Bills. So there's no way to utilize him.
Go ahead, David.
I agree. I'll be surprised if Zay plays, and if he does, I think he just be a decoy. We're talking about a knee injury. You haven't practiced all week or last week. It's not looking good for big play Zay. So I don't think he'll play either.
I don't think that. I feel like Mama Pain. Damn, damn, damn.
Right?
Yeah, and if he plays, it's a decoy, but damn. Oh
I
well.
know.
Hopefully
That's a
we get
big loss, man. Like,
very big loss, David. All right, our next topic. Do you think the Ravens going on the road will make a difference against the Bills? They're undefeated at home. Go ahead, Shannon.
Um, It makes a difference because you're going into enemy territory. But I just feel like once the ball kicks off, like it's just play ball. Like it's no disrespect to anybody, but that's what it is. And I mentioned this earlier, talking about the teams that they played this season. When I saw a list of the teams that they played at home, outside of the Chiefs, I mean, they weren't really that good. So saying you should be 9-0 at home. Maybe you could say they would be 8-1, but you're 9-0. You didn't play, tough teams at home. And again, no disrespect, but I'm just saying, I don't think that matters to me when I see who you played and who, like they played well against the Rams and the Lions. They was on the road though, right? For those,
Yes,
you know what I'm
ma'am.
saying? Like the games that y'all had that was like, ooh, these are great games. Y'all weren't at home. So them being 9-0 at home really doesn't mean anything to me. Because again, once they kick the ball off, let's play ball. Like, I don't care that you won 9 games at home.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
The Ravens are the hottest team in the league on this 5 game winning streak. They're not just beating teams, they blowing teams out. They fully focused. They built for this. It's their time to seize the moment. They'll play you in the street. They play you in the parking lot. Doesn't matter where they go, but they playing for keeps. Let's go. It don't matter where we go.
Well said, David. I'm going to emulate one of my favorite wrestlers. It doesn't matter where we play this game at. The Ravens are
Oh
on a
no.
mission. The Bills can't stop us. The wind can't stop us. Bills Mafia can't stop us. The tables can't stop us. So it doesn't matter. All right, that was
Right.
a last topic. So now we're going to our over-under stat lines. We're going to go with Lamar Jackson, total yards, passing and rushing, 275 over under. Go ahead, Shannon.
Mm.
I'll go under. I'll say 185 passing and 65 rushing.
So,
250. 250.
okay. All right. Go ahead, David.
I'm gonna say a little bit under as well. I got for about 180 passing, 80 yards rushing. So I'm gonna give him 260, just a little bit under.
Guys, I know he only had 175 last week, but this week he's going to throw for at least over 200 yards. So I'm going to go right at 275. I'm going to go 230 in the air and 40 yards rushing.
Yeah, I'm saying the Bills they got good secondary, so I think it's just gonna be more rush.
I don't think so, but anyway, we're gonna go
That's about.
Derrick. We're gonna go Derrick Henry, 105 yards rushing over under Shannon.
Over. No disrespect to the guy y'all said is going to make a difference for the Bills, but over. And I'm thinking like 150.
Talk to me now, Shannon. I like that. So over. Go ahead,
I'm
David.
gonna tell you why I'm saying it though, because when I don't like talking about other teams like I know. Like if I don't follow you like that, like I can talk about the Ravens in a way that another fan can't, right? So when somebody says something about an opposing team, I take it, like I take it in. And they were on the radio talking about no disrespect, because it ain't me saying it, but they were saying that the Bills front is soft, like they can be ran on. So I feel like Derrick Henry is going to make his mark. I do 150.
I love it, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
I'm going over as well. Big game for Derrick Henry, 170. I just think that Ravens O line, they're just overpowering them, man. The O line last week just put on the show. They're tossing guys out the club everywhere. So big game for Derrick Henry, give him buck 70.
I love it, David. I'm gonna go over as well, but I ain't gonna go as high. I'm gonna go 125 for the big fella. All
So you
right.
think Lamar going to pass it? So Lamar going to pass it all around, and they going to contain Derrick Henry to 125.
Nah, 125 is not contained. It's gonna be tough yards and he'll pop a couple. Um
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Bateman, 45 yards receiving over under Shannon.
I'm gonna go over. You said 50.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna say 65.
Talk to me, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
I'm gonna say over as well. I'm gonna give Bateman about 70. I'm gonna give him 70.
I'm gonna go slightly over with 55. Mark Andrews, 65 yards receiving over under Shannon.
I'm gonna go under. I'll say about 50.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
I'm gonna go with Shannon. I think 50. I'm gonna give him 50.
I'm gonna go a tad bit over with 70. Isaiah Likely, 30 yards receiving over under Shannon.
Um, I'll say 30. How about you say that's pushing it? Push.
Push
I'll
it.
say 30.
Salt and pepper, push it. Go ahead,
Mhm.
David.
I'm gonna go over. Give me 50 for Likely as well. I think he get about 50.
I'm gonna go slightly over with 40. Our last one on offense. Justice Hill, total combined yards from scrimmage, 30. Over under Shannon.
Combined, because he can be utilized in a passing game too. Um, I'll say over and say 40.
I love it. Talk to me. Go ahead, David.
I'm gonna say push. I think about 30 is about good for him.
Oh,
It breaks about one big play a game.
yes, sir, he does. I'm gonna go slightly over with 35. Now on to the defense. Total team sacks. We're gonna start the line at 2. Over under Shannon.
I'm gonna go 3 over.
Ooh, who gets a sack? Come on, let's make it interesting. Who gets one? Who gets one? Who gets it?
Probably the defensive lineman and when one of the linebackers. The defensive lineman was getting they had 3 sacks up front on their own. So I would say at least 2 guys up there and one of the linebackers, Calvin Noy or Ole.
Okay, go ahead, David. Over under.
I'm gonna go 4. I think Van Noy get one. Namdi will get 1 or 2. Oh well, get up in there. Give him 4.
I'm gonna go with 4 as well. I'm gonna give Namdi Matabike a sack, Calvin Noy, Adafi Owe, and the big fella Travis Jones. All right, total team interceptions on defense. I'm gonna start the line at 1. Over under Shannon.
Um, I'll s- I'll say 1 push.
Push. Okay, go ahead, David.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll get him once.
I'm gonna go over with 2. I think Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins are both going to get him this game. Me personally. All right,
I thought he's gonna say Brandon Stevens gonna get one.
absolutely. Um, Roquan Smith and Malik Harrison, 14 total tackles combined. Over under Shannon.
Um, I'll say over 16. Roquan 11. Um, said Malik, right? Malik 5.
Okay, give him a little bit more credit. I like it. Go ahead, David. Over under 14 combined tackles. Roll and Malik Harrison.
I think it's a big Roquan Smith game. I'm gonna give him 13. I'm gonna give Harrison. I'm gonna give him 8. I'm gonna say 21.
I'm gonna go over with 18, 10 for Roquan, 8 for Malik Harrison. And the last one, Cal Hamilton, 6 tackles. Over under Shannon.
I'll say over and say 8.
Okay, Cal. Go ahead, Dave. Cal Hamilton, 6 tackles. Over under.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna give him 7.
I'm gonna go slightly over with 7 as well. Now, our 3 keys to victory. Go ahead, Shannon.
Protect the football, limit the penalties, and dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides.
Well said. Look at you trying to steal mine. I like it, Shannon. Go ahead,
But
David.
what I feel,
The first one. That's
oh,
all.
Say run the ball early and often. Don't let Josh Allen get loose with the off schedule plays when he scrambles. Got to get him on the ground
Reach.
and don't let these receivers get open. You gotta lock these receivers down. So that's my three.
Can the church say amen, Pastor David? Oh, I love you was preaching.
Mhm.
We protect the football. No interceptions or fumbles, which we didn't have last week. Turn over the football and score more touchdowns. We did field goals, and we did that. Justin Tucker only had to kick extra points. And boom, like I said, mine stay the same every week. Now, drum roll, everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Our score prediction. Who wins the game? Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't think it's going to be anything remotely close to week 4. I think it'll be a close game. Could be I mean, the winning team could win within 1, 2, or 3 points. But I'm going to go 30-27 Ravens.
I love that score, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
I agree. I think this is going to be a tight game. It's going to come down to the wire. Ravens 24, Bills 23, 1 point win.
That's super close in the spread. I think is 1 point. Week 4 we kicked them in the teeth. Both teams are different now. They're at home, so it's gonna be a much tighter game. But with that being said, I'm gonna go Ravens 28, Bills 21. We won by even touchdown. Well, that's it. So now we're gonna do our closing remarks. Shannon, you're up.
The only thing I want to say is, like I said, I don't know why it's in my algorithm on Twitter. A bunch of Bills fans and their opinions. I've been saying it all week. But one thing they've been harping on is who didn't play for them week 4, and they're saying like they're not the same team from week 4. And I just want to say the Ravens aren't the same team from week 4. We've done a lot of different, had to deal with a lot of different things this season. Had to pick ourselves back up, be on the top, fall back down, and get back up again. So the same way you think we're seeing a different team, just know that you're seeing a different team too. And the difference is this team got real close last year. And I don't think that they're going to want to let this opportunity go to get a chance to go back to the AFC Championship. So just like you think we're going to see a different team, you're also going to be seeing a different team.
Oh, well said, Shannon. Go ahead, David.
Now, man, hey, just can't wait till Sunday, man. Can't wait. This is gonna be a good one right here. Buffalo, we gotta get some payback from a couple years ago. Quick little birthday shout out. Want to shout out my homeboy Dana Brown turned 50. Happy birthday, homie. Shout out my
Happy
homegirl
birthday.
Veronica Good. And just shout out the Ravens flock. Everybody that likes our show and rocks with us, thanks for your support, man. Thank
Well said, Shannon. And David, gonna be a hell of a game. Ravens are on a mission. The Bills are on the way. So I'm gonna let Bankroll Fresh, speak my sentiments to me. Give me 1 second. I hate these damn ads on YouTube. Here we go. Listen carefully, everybody. I buy what I want to buy. We
What
supply
is
what you
this?
walk in your trap and take over your trap. Walk in your trap, walk in your trap and take over your trap. Walk in your trap and take over your trap. Bills fans, you heard it. We walking over, we taking over your trap, we kicking over the benches, we throwing a Gatorade everywhere. Buffalo's now gonna be M&T Bank Stadium. So it's just that plain and simple. Can't wait for Sunday. Um, great show, everybody. Shannon, Dave, you guys are amazing as always. Y'all know what I'm about to say, like, subscribe, all that good stuff like that. We'll be back Tuesday for the recap, win, lose, or draw, but we're gonna win. And like I said, I'm very, very strongly confident we'll be back here next Thursday previewing the AFC Championship game versus the Chiefs or the Texans. So you know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all trade, talk Ravens all day, every day. From your host Justin P and my 2 MVP being our co-hosts, Miss Shannon Fitch is Super Dave, the Mailman, aka David Woods. We love y'all. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the NBA games tonight. Enjoy the Saturday games, and then Sunday, ding ding, motherfucker is on. We
Let's
out,
go.
baby.
Yeah. All right,
Good
y'all.
night,
Peace.
guys.